do this thing. Hi guys, how's it going? Captain Foley back with you again for another sit-down hangout. Don't know how long we're gonna go here. Maybe only an hour, maybe 2 hours. I'm not sure. Depends on what you guys want to talk about and what kind of reaction we get here. So hit that like button if you haven't already, though. If you're just joining us, if you're joining us after the fact, hit that like button. Consider sending a super thanks as well, or super chat during this live as well. Let's see how well we can do, what we can, talk about, all the cool stuff. So welcome, guys, welcome. All right, let me pull up the chat here. See who's here, what's happening, all that stuff. It's very much unscheduled live. Sorry for the weird sound effects, but that's the dogs, of course, as you guys know. Hey, Dot, you don't have to be like that. You don't have to be grumpy. So. Ozzy says, any snow? No. It's actually melting right now. Broken Speakers here, and Genther is here. Chuck A is here. Damien Howe says, hello, hello. Olivia throws in $2. Foley, when his live went on. It's true. Welcome, Olivia. Good to see you. Or hear from you. Or the lighting's going to be interesting because the sun's setting, so it's like starting out bright and it's very quickly going to get dark. But I got the regular lighting on in here for that when I do lives at night, so it'll be interesting to see how the lighting changes over the next hour. But anyway, Danny Janie, Trek Dog content is why we're here. Perfect. Broken Speaker, I just went to go take a nap. Terrible sinus headache I get one every week, it seems. That is awful. Sinus headaches, well, just headaches in general are bad and not great. So go have a nap. Don't bother listening to me. Dan Ben, I watched your Star Trek or your Star Wars VR video. Did it make you ill at the end? No, it did not. I have no problems with VR. I was just getting a little bit of an irritated stomach. And I needed to get off the live, so yeah, had nothing to do with the VR though. Tom Casey throws in $5. Thank you so much. Jumped in to say hi, loving Picard 3 so far. Have a great day and evening. Thank you, Tom. Sorry for the growling and the skittering. Like I said, pugs. But thank you, Tom. Mellow Canuck, Picard's kid is from the Naked Now. Okay. That's a bit of a stretch. How did Beverly not know she was pregnant? And was the kid invisible for 7 years aboard the Enterprise? I don't know. Ozzy says, long live Pugs and Dot. Yeah, Dot's up here too. Dot's in a grumpy mood today. She might not be feeling the best. But regardless. So yeah, if you haven't checked out our content, we did a video today on the Shrike, kind of our first look at it, and check that out by all means. Also, don't forget to check out our reviews. We did our edited review yesterday, as well as our full breakdown review, which was actually very good. It was a good episode, so check those out if you haven't. Melicanak, she was gone the next year, wasn't she? Yes, for 1 year as head of Starfleet's medical. So, but the Naked Now happened at the beginning of season 1. And the end of season 1 was like about a year later. So that's more than 9 months. And yeah, she was gone for that second year. A lot of people are speculating they're going to tie it into that, which would make perfect sense, honestly. But why wouldn't she say anything? it kind of doesn't work out either, even in that regard. So that's a tough one. The Puritan, a reason why she was gone for TNG season 2 to hide the kid. Again, why? Unless somebody like made her have a kid for some reason and then erased her memory of it for when she came back, she wouldn't have thought about it or said anything. Just seems very sketchy. So, so if you and Samuel were on the Titan, who would get the top bunk? That's a good question. I don't know. I kind of like top bunks, but you know, I used to have a bunk bed when I lived at home when I was young with my brothers. Kind of like the top, but kind of like the bottom as well. I don't know. And if you're thinking anything dirtier than that, how dare you? That's just awful. Dan Ben, according to Lower Decks, Mariner's supposed to have been on Enterprise D and Deep Space Nine. It's kind of contradicted. It's not, though. Danny Janey, I'm still hoping it's the Sub Rosa Ghost kid. That would feel more canon. Ronan Jr. Jeff Mao, can't say I'm all that crazy over the new Titan. It has this look like it's a first draft design of a starship. Okay, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Problem is that ship was designed originally as a Shangri-La class, which was like a movie era ship, and it shows because they definitely took the same design. It was designed by Bill Krause, and upgraded it to give it phaser strips, but also ball turrets. It's a weird anomaly as far as a lot of things go. So it looks better for when it's area appropriate for the motion picture era. We did a whole video on it about the ship with the designer like a couple of years ago. Yeah, the Titan's a bit of an anomaly, unfortunately. Ed Spaliers said in an interview, Jack Crusher is 23 or 24. Well, there you go. Terrence Childs, have you seen the new Venom Geek Media download on the Dominion War series? No, I have not. NZ Fade, I said before, he showed Beverly the Picard maneuver. Syraxis, greetings from London, UK. You look great with the slightly longer hair, El Capitan. Thank you. It's getting to the point where it's a little too long because it's kind of getting all frizzy on the sides with my glasses. It kind of sticks out weird. It's probably going to be cut within the next couple days. Just saying. So, but thank you. It also looks kind of shitty right now. It's not like parted properly, and doing some stuff around the house today, so it's not really. Now you got me focused on my hair. Don't do that. At least I have a full head of hair. For my age, it's pretty good. Not that I'm going to lose my hair, because genetically, family they all have their hair, so. Hello, Captain from London, UK. Always good when your lives coincide with my walking hours. Or my waking hours, sorry. Love Picard Season 3. Shaw is growing on me, kinda. Shaw's great. I think Shaw was great from the beginning, so I'm glad you like him. Or he's growing on you. He'll get better, don't worry. Mr. Captain 93, let's be honest. If you had 2 kids to choose from, would you really choose Wesley first? Jack was born after Nemesis. Dan Ben, well, I thought Lower Decks said a few things that didn't add up. Yeah, but it does add up because we have looked into that, and it does kind of line up with what Mariner said. So there's a plan. There's a timeline that Mike McMahon has figured out for Mariner, which we've talked to him about, and yes, it does all make sense. So, La Puritan, she was hiding the kid because Wesley would be jealous. Who knows what experiment he would have done with his little brother. He almost made his mother disappear. In a static warp bubble, yeah. Mr. Captain 93, the Titan should have given Vatic, however you spell or say it, the old Vulcan hello. New Yorker in Vegas, I didn't think I would like the Titan at first, But she's growing on me, probably due in large part to the series finally being damn good. NZ Fade. If they're showing Beverly, then surely Wesley would make an appearance in the show, since he's practically at Q level being now. Maybe he appears right at the end. Could be. I really doubt that he's going to be in it, though. But no, I will not get a Vulcan bowl cut. Danny Janey, it was Jack. If Jack was a season 2 baby, Picard would know following TNG's episode Attached. Still pulling for Ronan over here. The Attached episode, again, as I said, if Beverly had her memory erased and her kid was taken from her, so she didn't even have any memory of the kid, no, there's absolutely no way he would have known, even in the episode Attached. And Ronan, if you're talking about the guy from the Trill, again, how did she get pregnant and not have anybody know it? It just doesn't quite add up. So you can root for Ronan all you like, if that's what we're talking about here, but it just doesn't make sense. So I recently watched a clip on YouTube, a clip of when Worf kills Gowron at the beginning. Gowron says Vorchek class battle cruisers when it's supposed to be attack cruisers. Oh no, a mistake in Trek. That's awful. Oh, Ronan, the Candle Bay. Well, again, how'd she have the baby without anybody knowing? Terrence Childs, why wouldn't the Federation use a metaphasic cloak? I think Section 31 has the thing. I don't know. NZ Fade. Even if Beverly didn't know, why would she have hidden Jack from Picard? If she had lost her memory, then found out he was her child, they met as adults, why didn't she tell Picard? Because maybe there's some kind of blackmail thing going on, or threat of violence towards if Picard finds out. So she found out, had to go help him, rescue him from whoever they are, and then they had to work together to do this mercenary thing to, survive, essentially, and not contact Picard. Because there's a line of dialogue coming up that's in one of the trailers where she says to Picard, it'll be the same as it's always been. People threatening your life or whatever. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think if you're going to go that route, it could be, that could be the reason. She just doesn't want people going after Picard. So he can't find out. So even though she might have found out and once found her kid, she would not necessarily have wanted to tell him or be able to tell him. So how much time went by before season 2 of Picard and season 3? It seems like it could have been a few years. Originally, we thought it was 3 years. Apparently, it's only been about 3 or 4 months. So it's hard to say. I don't know off the top of my head. There is a definitive answer. I just don't know what it is. Why wouldn't the Federation use the metaphysics? Oh, never mind. I read that one. I'm making a bold prediction. The Iconians will be mentioned in Picard 3. Fuck off with the Iconians. I don't care about the Iconians being mentioned ever. Ugh, my God. Dan Ben, Deanna Troi had a sister that died and she never knew about her. That's true. Terrence Childs, I'd like to find out what happened to Diana Troy's Star Child. Do you, though? That was like one of the worst episodes of Trek ever. Wait, was it the ghost? The ghost had a thing for Beverly? Maybe Jack is half ghost. Dan Ben, a lot of the time when I mention a mistake, I'm asking if you think it's a mistake or it's just fine. Oh, okay. I think it's just fine, because that's like the first time we get introduced to the Vorcha. So, Thomas Foley, what if Jack is really an alternate reality Michael Burnham, and that's how the Trek universe is all connected through the multiverse of Mikey Spock? Really? Mr. Captain 93, maybe Jack is from the mirror universe. No. How's that? Dan Ben, Star Trek Voyager Prophecy, they use a metaphasic scan or sweep to detect an old Klingon battlecruiser. They do indeed. The Pyridon. So, about the Shrike, there was a lot of guessing about the deflector, and I was wondering, was it the only one who was instantly reminded of Breen design? Sure, it's symmetrical and orange, not gray. I think you were. I never thought about the Breen in regards to that ship. So, Mr. Captain 93, what about the Enterprise baby? What happened to that? It's probably, I don't know. That's another good question. Goddamn, guys. Pyridon, but for me, it felt very Breen from the beginning. Okay. I still don't get Breen vibes off of it, so. Jeff Mal, I hope the Mirror Universe has nothing to do with this story. It's always mishandled every time they introduce that plot device. I'm kind of right there with you on that, hoping that it's not. Eric Epperling, where do these Star Trek villains get all the money for these super ships with the super weapons? They're villains. They either steal the tech or they find another illegal way of getting it or having it built. Someone says, yes, really, the multiverse of Mikeness. Danny Janie, Enterprise baby ran off with the other space ravioli. Yes, the space raviolis. General Grievous, I know Vadic's secret identity and why she's so unstable. There have to be a big Scooby-Doo reveal at the end, and she'll pull off her mask to reveal her true identity. Mystic Spenny. What do you think of my great and glorious plan? It is so amazingly awesome and so much better than anything that any other villain has ever come up with. Oh, my most great and glorious design. Yeah, Spenny for the win. Jeff Mall, the Shrike must have had horns mounted on the hull. Cuckloid, did you notice the view screen activation sound on the Titan, when we saw Amanda Plummer? Was the same sound when we saw Christopher Plummer in Star Trek 6. Is the same sound? Nice touch. Yes, it is the same sound. And yes, I did notice it. And it's pretty great, actually. It's a great sound effect. Mr. Captain 93, maybe Jack was adopted by Sarek after the mind meld with Picard. Every few years, Spock gets a new sibling. There you go. Dan Ben says, Episode 1 with the metaphasic shield. Did the Titan erase shields to go to warp? Very likely, yes. Shields are probably a prerequisite for warp, considering you're at warp. Not only would you need deflector screens and deflector shields, but you'd also need probably standard shields. Samuel insists that shields are always on when they're in warp. I'm not 100% sure of that. I'm not 100% convinced. But the metaphasic shields could have something to do, with something that they need to have them on. I don't know. So I'm not convinced 100% that there would definitely be shields on during warp, but that's an argument for another day. Devo77X, would it be funny if Dr. Crusher said to Picard that Wesley just appeared to her and said Jack is their son from an alternate reality? Sure, that'd be great. That'd be hilarious. Steven, do you think Vadic and company are AI, androids maybe? It would make sense as to why Vadic knows so much so quickly and why they would want revenge against the Federation. I would guess that would make sense, but it would also be incredibly stupid and lame to have that be the plot device for this season. So I hope it's not that. But yeah, it would make sense. It would be kind of all right, I guess, but I personally wouldn't enjoy it. I thought the ship reminded me of the Indian insectoids from some angles. A little bit, yeah. In all seriousness, with the jokes, the first 2 episodes have been great, and thanks for the reviews. No problem, Mr. Captain. We are here to do that. We love it, and hopefully you enjoy watching our reviews of them. So, Eric Martin, I thought with so many impulse engines, the Titan A would take off quickly into the nebula. It did take off quite quickly. Captain, do you feel like Kurtzman has a quota for characters smoking in Star Trek Picard? Maybe he's got some kind of secret agenda going on there. Maybe he's got to deal with a tobacco company. I don't know. I think it's fine, honestly, especially for a villain. Rios was a little bit weird, but it was also a nice kind of okay. Well, you know, it's a fun thing. In the future, there would be tobacco that wouldn't be harmful for your lungs. You just get your lungs cleaned out every like couple weeks if you are a smoker, or it's just kind of like an over stylized vape. Who knows? I have no problem with somebody smoking a cigar in the future, even on the bridge of a starship. Terrence Childs, I think that Will Riker was supposed to be promoted to the rank of captain, and given the Sovereign class, do you share my belief? He was promoted to captain. Sovereign class, no. Did PSVR 2 make you sick after a while? No, it did not. I had a little bit of a stomach issue from some food I ate, so I had to get off the live pretty quick. I hate that people are asking that. No, I wasn't feeling sick headache-wise from the VR. Absolutely not. I don't get VR sick. Chuck A, why do you think the cameos ahead are from Voyager and DS9? Or who do you think the cameos ahead are? I have no idea. I'm not even going to get into that. We've speculated about that a few times. I would love to see the Doctor. I would love to see Bashir. Perhaps even Quark and or Kira. I know they were in Lower Decks, but those would also make sense. I don't know. Baddock needs to quote to be or not to be and spin in her chair around just once. Jeff Mal, I found that little starship interesting that Beverly was on. It kind of reminded me of the Oberth class. Yeah, absolutely. It was kind of a neat little ship. The Black Trekker says, greetings. How is it possible that the Federation has designed a new generation of state-of-the-art ships that are technologically inferior in weapons technology? How do you know that they're inferior in weapons technology? How do you know that? Danny Janey throws in $50. So thank you so much. Thanks for keeping up with the great content. Anytime. Thank you very much for the super chats and the support, guys. Much appreciated. We love doing this, so we have no problem keeping up with the content. Eric Epperling, someone said to watch Next Generation Conspiracy to understand Picard Season 3. Who is that someone? Terry Metalis also joked and said you need to catch up on your the episode with her and the candle, the ghost candle. And then he said it was a joke. So I hope it's not the conspiracy bugs. That'd just be stupid in my opinion, but hey. Dan Ben, Star Trek The Next Generation Gambit had a ship that was pointing insect-like, maybe bounty hunters, marauders. Ships are like that. Could be. Danny Janey, Eric, they did send a beacon. That would be too good for this franchise. I'm not going to get into it. I don't want it to be the conspiracy bugs. The Pyridon. After Dominion War, the Romulan collapse, there could be several disarmament agreement established. Therefore, the weak defensive capabilities of the Titan. Well, that's what kind of happened with after the Kittermare Accords. Why there was no more heavy cruisers. But yeah, and I don't think it's weak at all, for the record. So. Smart Smears, I've been watching Picard Season 1 to catch up, and I feel like a lot of problems with it exist in the context of being what people thought all of Trek would be. A lot of it now is just okay. You don't have to watch Season 1 or 2 to get into Season 3 at all. They're totally not even connected, in my opinion. Just jump into Season 3. Don't watch Season 1 and 2. You don't have to. I am still thinking they are Lore's ex-drones, and that's why Lore is involved. Oh, that could be interesting. Dan Ben, do you like New Trek taking STO alien ships and reusing them for different aliens or something? Not really. Don't reuse shit. I know they use the Alachi ships for these smaller ones, change the colors of a few things, but overall it's the same design. I hate that. Don't do that. So no, I don't approve of that. Love of this season so far. It's a major improvement over what we've gotten before. Hell yes. Smart Smear says, that being said, there are issues I have, but they take longer than a live replay to say them. Okay? NX Enterprise had no energy shields. Not right away. It eventually got them. The last episode, it had them because that was like a few years later, and the SS Enterprise, that the refit version, had energy shields by that point. So yes, they eventually got them. About Sneed, I thought only female Ferengis had the small ears. Yeah, but there's abnormalities with all species, with all genders, with all whatever. You just had smaller ears than most. That's fine. I have no issue with that. But yeah, you're right. In general, the females had the smaller ears. So maybe it's just more effeminate of a Ferengi. I don't know. So biggest progress in IE in the real world is Chat GTP. Is this the age when we get an actual computer that can understand us like in Star Trek? I'm waiting for the holodecks, probably not in my lifetime. Holodecks you'll probably see within the next 50 years, honestly. But, yeah. Titan is not a big ship. It's got all the power a ship of that size would have. It's not a super large ship, no. Dan Ben, maybe Q appears to Beverly one day and gave her a baby and she kept it secret. Yes, that's the perfect example, or a perfect explanation. You might actually like Raffi if you do not watch the last 2 seasons. Yes, that's the other thing. You might actually like her. Maybe the lady is telepathic. Yes, we've kind of just covered that a little bit. General Grievous, the Ilios ship Beverly had reminded me of a similar or smaller civilian knockoff ship design like the Steamrunner class. Yes. Grant McGregor says, I think Jesse Gender is right. Sneed could have said a new rule of acquisition: always get ahead in fishing your deals. Okay. Jeff Mal loved how Worf was reintroduced to us. It really felt old times at that point. Smart Smears, I'm also watching season 3. To be fair, I am only watching season 1 for curiosity and haven't gotten into the other to the end yet, where I know the plot goes off the rails. Yeah, in season 2, if you watch the first 3 episodes and the last episode, you'll be good. But the rest in between, like episodes like 4 to 9, are not that great. Eric Epperlein, when throwing a starship at another starship, shields are not 100% effective. Shields aren't really made for blunt force trauma. They're made more for energy weapons. Writer Albert Lanier, I figure season 3 has to be an improvement. Previous season episodes were bland except for Q's presence. Transgendered Ferengi, maybe that's what they were going for. Sure. Arvor, but does Worf's return mean that Discovery's Klingons are now canceled? No, it doesn't. Discovery is its own timeline. It's its own thing. It's fine. It's the Discoverse. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. New York and Vegas. Sneed's ears reminded me of Brunt's a little, which in themselves was a small dick joke about sniveling old Brunt. Yes. Thomas Foley, have you read the Coda's Trek series? It involves a few Picard's kids. I have not read any of the Coda series, no. Pumpkin Spice, yeah, when the Yamato blew up, the shields kept the oncoming debris at bay. Daniel's Hot Topics. Worf killed Sneed the Ferengi. I guess Sneed should have quit when he was still ahead. Get it? Ba-dum-dum. Dan Ben, smoking is supposed to be a reference to people smoking in today's world. Season 1, where O has sunglasses, is because people in secret organization today wear them. NZ Fade. I'd watch a series about Worf. I would too, honestly. Mr. Captain 93. So Sneed's intro shows that maybe Grand Nagus Thrawn didn't implement as much a change as the Ferengi had hoped. No, it doesn't mean anything of the sort. I don't know where you would even get that from. Thomas says, honestly, with how many impulse engines the Titan has, you should think going to full impulse once once would shear the saucer clear of the secondary hull. William May, I hope they reveal that Worf got promoted to captain. NZ Fade, from memory, wasn't Worf the captain of the Enterprise, or was that not canon? That is 100% not canon. Mr. Captain 93, everyone needs to back off Sneed. We all lost our head when Worf showed up. Chuck A, I think Worf maybe not a pacifist. No, they said from the beginning that was a joke. He's more of like a monk now, a warrior monk. He wants to be more peaceful, but if it comes down to it, he's going to kill people. Are you doing lives for the new season of The Mandalorian next week? Yes, I'll be doing first reaction lives on those for sure. Yes. Eric Epperling, I am sorry, but Sneed sounds like a Dr. Zeus character. Don't be sorry. They mentioned a couple of DS stations in the second episode. Tell us, Captain Foley, will DS9 be in the season? At the very end, could we see Garrick and Quark? I mean, you could have at the end. You could see Garrick and Quark. A lot of things could be the case. And yes, we heard about Deep Space Station 4 and Deep Space Station 11 in the first episode. But there are a lot of Deep Space stations. That's kind of the point of them. Hearing about them is fine, I guess. But yeah, a lot of things are possible. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to actually go to DS9 or not, or what DS9 character is going to be involved, or why, or how. I'm not quite 100% sure. So there's ones I would like to see, obviously, but I don't know. When he took a bit off the top of Sneed's head, Worf would probably thinking I could kill Quark. So I couldn't kill Quark, so I'll settle for you. The Black Trekker, because Captain Shaw stated that they were outgunned. Let's not forget that the Enterprise D was an explorer vessel as well, and they seldom met anyone that the weapons technology was superior. Yeah, but he knew they were packing before that. He knew that the other ship was heavily armed. Yes, he said they're an explorer. It's not a large ship. I mean, Voyager wasn't a large ship either, and it wasn't super gunned up either. The thing is, it's not inferior technology at all. Just it's like facing off the Enterprise E versus the Scimitar. The Scimitar was a Predator. It was armed to the teeth. That's exactly what this thing is, and he knew that because he checked his little thing on his chair and said, and it's loaded for bear or whatever. I forget what he said, but he knew that it was heavily armed before he even went in. That's why he said we're going to be outgunned. Plus, it's the Federation. They're generally always outgunned. Yes, the Galaxy class had some pretty impressive weaponry on it. However, there were times when even it was outgunned. Look at the Shellyak. Look at some of the other species. I can't think of any offhand, but there was quite a few times where the Enterprise was outgunned or outmatched. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, plus Captain Shaw probably has some PTSD from something that happened in his past, so he's not 100% up for stepping in the line of getting in some heavy firefight issues. So I don't think it's inferior at all. We don't even know what it's capable of at this point, so I don't think it's inferior at all. The elephant in the room is why is Worf seemingly working for Starfleet intelligence, maybe in Section 31. Doesn't seem very honorable, especially as he always wanted to be more Klingon than Klingons. Starfleet is not military. They like explorer ships, and they don't like to be armed too much. I hope Worf is referred to as a Dahar Master. That'd be great. Deep Space 69, the sexiest one in Starfleet. Chuck A should be in charge of all Star Trek. If not him, then Mike McMahon. Yes, let's get Kurtzman ousted and get Terry Metalis in Kurtzman's role. Eric Epperling, with all the leads dead, it will be interesting to see how Raffi will continue her investigation. Your t-shirt looks cool. Has an almost Fallout looking effect. How did Bev get the ship? I don't know how Bev got the ship. And yes, this was a good print, and it just fell apart. The print turned out wasn't very good. It's kind of got like a sticky feel to it. The more I wash it, the worse it's getting. So, but thank you. Shouldn't look like that. You said that season 1 and 2 is not connected, but you have mentioned the portal tech and portal from season 1 with tentacles. Jesus fucking Christ. It didn't say they're not connected. They are connected. She even says in the synthetic flesh in this one. So yes, obviously they're connected. But I'm saying you don't need to watch season 1 and 2 to enjoy season 3. You can jump right into Picard season 3 and enjoy the hell out of it. Then go back and watch seasons 1 and 2. I would suggest actually watching season 2, episode 1, 2, and 3, and episode 10 of season 2, then watching Picard season 3, then going back and watching season 1 and the rest of season 2. Because honestly, they're kind of crap. This is the season that we wanted, the TNG basically, TNG season 8. So, and that portal tech, the tentacles came through, is not necessarily related to the tech that was stolen from one of the Daystrom stations. It's quantum tunneling tech. That's not to say that the tentacles that came through in Picard season 1 are the same technology at all. It's just some kind of wormhole technology that they used. Who knows? It's not the same. Visually, it even isn't the same. It was more red in Picard season 1, if you really want to get nitpicky. So, yeah, that connection is weak and at best. I heard that the second episode someone mentioned photonic activity on the Shrike. Someone sold the technology and stole from the Daystrom Institute to the Shrike. What if Moriarty is on the Shrike? That'd be great. We've got to find out where Moriarty fits in, so there you go. We need the Mirror Universe warship Voyager again. Well, it wasn't a Mirror Universe, but okay. It's armed like an F-18, which is superior to the F-14. Dan Ben, warship Voyager wasn't Mirror Universe. It was an alien species in the future, remembering it incorrectly. Correct. Thomas, regarding the Ferengi, let's be honest, production probably didn't even know males have bigger ears. General Grievous, I hope Terry clears up why last week for Shaw was basically you have no power here and Picard not taking command of the ship and Admiral's orders, then divert them. Because he fucking earned his trust. In the first episode, Shaw knew something was going on. These two dipshits show up on his ship as a last-minute inspection excuse. Then I want him to divert course. He's like, no, you're fucking doing some shady shit. No. And as the actor who plays Shaw has said, Shaw is a good guy and will do the right thing when he's giving all the information. So now that he's unlocking parts of this puzzle, he's more on board. And he's at the point where should I do this or should I not? When Admiral Picard takes over and says, Admiral's orders, do this, do this, do this. And he's like, why are you doing this? Because that's my son. And that's when Shaw's like, God damn it, all right. Prepare to follow my orders. And he's like, I'm totally on board now. He slowly got the respect for Picard and Riker when they started telling him the truth and telling him what was actually going on in the situation. That's why. I don't know why that's so difficult for people to can't comprehend. I just don't understand why I have to explain this 50 times to people. It would be nice if they have a little more space battles, that people came back for support Picard. Romulans, Klingons, if you're an android, wouldn't everyone come back and give you a favor? Yes, hot topics. I heard Worf is possibly working with Section 31. They mentioned Section 31 in the episode. Could this be a hint at a Section 31 series after Picard? Possibly. No. Ferengi men can have small lobes. It just means that the lobes aren't good for business. Yeah. Robert Jen says, I stumbled on the Trekyards Live. That's cool. Well, it's only a Captain's Hangout. It's not really an official Trekyards Live, but welcome. Pumpkin Spice. Yeah, I hate the way Picard is betrayed now. Or portrayed. Oh my God. No confidence or assuredness after 70 years of experience of command. If you want to enjoy Picard, stop at all good things. Dan Ben, isn't Beverly's ship based on the design for STO before it came out? It was rejected. Not necessarily. It's based on one of Johnny's old concept sketches. So, Highly recommend Coda. You would get a kick out of it. Yeah, I've heard that. Multiple people have said that. Trekyards. It's weird Starfleet had the tech when they were big on destroying Iconian portals. Could you imagine if they used it to displace an army? Adam Brown. I think Worf absolutely feels the same way as Raffi, but knows the bigger scope of what's going on and wanted to discourage her from getting killed. It's exactly what happened. Daniel's Hot Topics. Moriarty was supposed to be in Voyager. Sadly, the writers did not know what to do with him, so they created the Hollow Doctor. Nice. Dan says, if you watch season 2 of Discovery and you haven't seen the short trek with Tilly and the lady, some people get confused. Okay. Eric Epperling. I would want to watch Picard 1 and 2 again. Recommendations, skip them. Or perhaps watch the episode with Girardi wearing the dress. Well, yes, that one you could watch. NZ Fade. Moriarty is possibly one of my favorite characters. Can't wait to see him again. I'm right there with you on that one. Trekyards says, ask yourself, how would Picard react if an admiral came on his ship keeping secrets? Exactly. Yes. Little mad today, I see. Not mad at all. Captain Shaw's being a dick by accident. Never did it on purpose. Sneed could be half human, yeah. Reliant. The enemy vessel reminds me of a Vorlon vessel from Babylon 5. Daniel says, if my theory is correct, the TNG crew on the Titan will transfer Moriarty off the Shrike onto the Titan, and he will possibly help them take down the Shrike and Amanda Plummer. Cool. Trekyards. Remember how Picard reacted with Riker and the Admiral keeping secrets? Same as Shaw. Pumpkin Spice. Shaw is sort of a douchebag for being rude to Picard and Riker. They did save Earth twice from Borg cubes. Dan Ben, is it true what Alex Kurtzman said about Commodore O? I don't know what the fuck he said about Commodore O, so maybe it's true. I don't trust anything that man says, so no, maybe not. I don't know. Paul Graham, hey Cap, just listening while doing some accounting homework. Well, good to have you here, Paul. We need to hang out again sometime soon, my friend. When the nicer weather comes, we need to have a fire or something. Mr. Cap 93, hope we see Ensign LaForge do some Top Gun style flying in the nebula. I'm sure we will. Daniel's Hot Topics. I hope they could use Moriarty in a spin-off Trek show, maybe a Titan show, or a show on the new Enterprise. We will see in the final episodes. Bert Defect says, I think his ears weren't that small. Actually, they were kind of big, actually. Kind of large, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, his ears were actually huge, if you ask me. Interesting statement. Dan Ben, there is something new coming from the original Babylon 5 to be announced at Comic-Con by the original creator. Nice. Captain Shaw is okay. You just have to get to know him. Glimgy, Brad is here. Hey, Cap, how are things? I haven't got my PSVR 2 yet. Getting one soon. But loved watching your video of Star Wars. Looks super cool. Yes, hopefully you get it soon and you enjoy it because it's really fantastic. It's awesome. Eric Martin, girl on your shirt looks to be in the middle of a transporter accident. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Colin Barrett, Sneed looked like he had lost some of his lobe. Looked like cut off more than shot off. Yeah, he was missing a chunk. Pumpkin Spice, if any series needs to be made, Captain Rios and Science Advisor Girardi on the new Stargazer. That'd be great. General Grievous, Worf probably told Raffi to disengage because he knew the channel wasn't secure. He was going after Sneed, whether she did or not, though he knew she wouldn't take no for an answer. Realistically, we'll probably have a few years gap to recover from Kurtzman before we get a new IP holder making shows. Daniel says, hope the rumors are true that this Moriarty is the Moriarty after Elementary Dear Data, and this version did not get the Countess and did not go through the events of Ship in a Bottle. That'd be interesting. I haven't heard that before, but that would be interesting. Burnsy says, season 1 and 2 are total write-offs. Just pretend this is the first season. Yeah. Dan Ben, apparently supposed to have a Deep Space Nine connection. Yeah. Birth defect. The Borg only know of Earth because Picard and Riker from the perspective of many in Starfleet. That's also true. Dan's Hot Topics. The Countess made Moriarty weak sauce and watered down. Oh, no. Daniel Vance. Cheers, Cap. Glad to see you're feeling better. Wasn't really feeling that bad to begin with. But General Grievous. Too bad Rios is dead, Pumpkin Spice. Trek or not. I wonder why they didn't build a Borg Rubik-style cube that can rearrange itself to protect damaged sections and interfere with this attack strategies. That'd be kind of neat, actually. Eric says, why not put Moriarty into a robot body? Or was there a reason that couldn't be done? I don't think it could be done just because technology-wise when they got to ship in a bottle, but... Presumably, Friendly Guy didn't have the lobes for legit business and maybe got in trouble from the FCA. Sean O'Sullivan, €2. Red alert alarm. Why does Worf have a new blade? Because he wanted a new blade? Maybe he designed it himself. Who knows? Maybe he earned it in some ritual while he was an ambassador for Kronos. And, it's better than a bat'leth. It's better weighted. Who knows? I think they are going to use Data to fight Moriarty. No, they're going to use Laura to fight Moriarty, but yes. Bill Barkley, it's weird, Stuart, because Kurtzman got Transformers Prime TV series, which he was an executive producer on, so right, but gets the celebrity so wrong. Yeah, but Kurtzman and Orsi were also fucking part of the Transformers movies, which they got completely fucking wrong. Yes, I was surprised to see Kurtzman's name attached just to Transformers Prime because it's fucking great. But I mean, everybody's entitled to have one good decision or two. I mean, J.J. fucking Abrams' name is all over the Catch Me If You Can movies, both 1 and 2, and those are fantastic movies. So, J.J. is not always connected to shit either. So, people get lucky every once in a while. I think Moriarty would actually be a cool guy if he'd just get over his villain programming. Yeah. Thomas Riker at Trekyards. Picard, season 3-2 felt like a gap filler between seasons 1 and season 3-1 and season 3-3. They should have split season 3. Oh my God, episode 2. Wow, I'm just going to stop reading that whole comment. Chancellor, sorry, not ambassador. Oh no, he was an ambassador to Kronos. Martog was the Chancellor. So, yeah, Martog was the Chancellor. Worf was the ambassador. Dan Curry designed Worf's new blade. Burnsy says, wasn't Worf's weapon the same one he used on the defector in Enterprise E in First Contact? No, he used a mek'leth in that scene, which is a shorter blade, but similarly designed. The mek'leths are a lot shorter than that sword that he has. So, Pumpkin Spice, Captain Rios and Girardi series aboard the new Stargazer, and then they received the new Enterprise G. Daniel says, Captain, remember in the first episode of Picard Season 3, remember when we saw Beverly's ship, and on the computer there was the log from Best of Both Worlds where Picard was fighting the Borg? Yes. They were making more continuity connections. Yes. They were also looking for a way to escape the people that were chasing them, and they were at a goddamn nebula, which is what the log was talking about. So she was probably looking for ways to evade somebody by using a nebula, and came across that log. So who's to say? But yes, they are making connections like that. It's fine. If they make an Enterprise G show, I hope it's all new characters or only a few odd ones coming back. Eric says, how did Alex Kurtzman get put in charge of Star Trek? I don't think Gene Roddenberry even knew him. Gene Roddenberry did not know him. I don't know how he got put in charge of it. I just knew the right sticks to suck, I guess. Sometimes that's all it takes to get in the position that you want to get in. But, I don't know. It's just nepotism, maybe. Geraldine Karstensen, $20. Looking forward to more Picard. Didn't see that coming, but here we are. Love the changes rolling out. Thank you, Geraldine. You mean the changes in Picard or the changes in our channel? Because we've actually added a bunch of new stuff, changed up the look of a lot of things, and even upgraded our membership ranks. So if you haven't checked out the new upgraded memberships, please do so. Also, please hit that like button. I might as well, while we're talking about call to actions, guys, hit that like button. We have 63 people here, 46 likes. Let's try to get to 50 likes. That's only 4 more. I think we can easily do that. So, but thank you very much, Geraldine, for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Bill Barkley, how is it that Trekyards doesn't get access to advanced episodes of Picard season 3, but other content creators have? Because we didn't apply for it. They don't just say, oh, this guy on YouTube does a good job, we'll throw it his way. You have to apply for that, and then you have to get approved. And sometimes it's a raffle type deal. So it's not like, oh, this person applied and they're a great Star Trek YouTuber. They're going to get it right away. It's not how it works. And yeah, they don't just hand them out willy-nilly. You have to apply for them. And we didn't apply for it because we like going week by week and kind of following along with you guys. If we got all of the episodes ahead of time and knew everything was going to happen, it'd be hard for us to do our jobs here and speculate and have those good conversations because we already have everything like knowledge-wise thrown at us. Yes, over the last year and a half, we've had a lot of information about this season come to us in one form or another by multiple people. So we do know a little bit. We know some breadcrumbs throughout this season. We know some visuals that are coming. We know some ships. We know some other cool stuff that are going to be showing up. But we can't really say what's going on story-wise because we don't know. So we do know some of the pieces, but we don't have all the connective tissue to line them all up. And I think it's probably a better way to do things, especially for a channel like ours where we review things the way we do, to not know what the hell is coming. It makes for a better conversation with you guys, and it honestly is just a lot more fun. Because like I said, we know a lot about what's coming up in this season without knowing how we're going to get there or how it's going to play out. So, and even having that knowledge is difficult because we've had that knowledge for months in some cases, or almost a year in some other cases. And it's hard, but like not talking about it. To know something like that and not be able to talk about it is a real bitch. So, no, just because we haven't applied for it is the answer to the question. Birth defect. The Mechleth and Prodigies were annoying. They were huge and used weirdly. Okay. Pup Trip says, hey pal, hey pup. Burnsy, they're in a nebula against an overbearing foe. Will they use the Riker maneuver? What, stepping over a chair? I don't know how that would help. Cullen Barrett, I am told that there is a format for new Star Trek shows in the final episodes. There's a format for new Star Trek shows in the final episodes because I don't know what that means. Daniel's Hot Topics. They are doing this to assure fans that this Trek is canon. Canon only has one N. To the rest of Trek, I guess that would make Disco an alternate reality. Disco's just, it's its own fucking thing. Let it be its own thing. It's the Kelvinverse, the Discoverse, and then the Prime Universe. Pumpkin Spice says, Kurtzman and Orsi wrote Mission Impossible 3, then Transformers and Star Trek 2009, and was involved with J.J. Abrams. Geraldine says, both actually. It's all good. Trekyards needs 100K subs. Well, we're planning on doing that. We're trying to get there. So that's why we're changing things up and kind of approaching things with a new strategy. Burnsy says, personally, I think it's better that they didn't get early access now that we can think together about what might be. It's more fun this way. 100%. I was just saying that. Chuck A says, I would love to see Captain Worf's 7 series as first officer and the Forged Daughter 2. It might be all right. Someone hack Paramount Plus and release all the episodes at once. Oh, damn. Mr. Krenian, Shaw is fine taking orders now because Picard is publicly issuing admiral's orders, not skulking around for favors. Shaw just doesn't want to be the one left holding the bag or taking the blame. 100%. I love that the way you described that. Dan Ben, do you think it would still be nice to receive press kits to shows but not the episodes? Yeah, getting press kits would be fantastic. Press kits are sent out willy-nilly to people that they think would be good to send that kind of thing to. So, yeah, considering how many people know us and watch us that actually work on the shows, I'm surprised we haven't got press kits. But the problem with press kits is usually you get one sent out, and there's two of us. There's me and Samuel, one in Canada, one in the UK. I have to send out two, so that makes it more difficult. It just one of us would get it, the other one wouldn't. That's not really fair. So press kits would be great. Press kits are a totally different thing to the screeners or like the access to the red carpet events and stuff, because that stuff you have to apply for, and it's basically like a lottery. So Murloss says, do you think there will be a follow-up series to Picard? If so, what would it be? Yes, I think there will be, and it could be anything. It could be Star Trek LaForge. It could be Star Trek Crusher. It could be Star Trek fucking Data. I don't know. It'll be something like that, I think. It'll just be another spin-off of one of these characters doing something else and introducing new characters. So... Rust Knuckle Iron Gut, I was kind of weirded out by the retired admiral being able to command an active ship. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Guys, it doesn't matter if he's retired or not. He was still a Starfleet admiral and one of the most legendary captains in Starfleet history. Plus, if he still is holding this rank, which he got in season 2, he is the commandant of Starfleet Academy. He is still in a position of prominence. And that's the way it works. Admirals can come on and say, Admiral's orders, I'm taking over. So... Bill Barkley. Okay, Stuart. Thanks for explaining. By the way, I'm looking forward to your Mando episode breakdowns next week. It's going to be busy for you with Mando and Picard. Yes, but this is the way. We're used to shuffling many things, juggling many things at the same time. After all, Shaw's probably not in a good standing after he solved the Kobayashi Maru by just saying, not my problem, and letting them die. That's funny. Riker maneuver is as in detonating the nebula with stuff from the Bizards. Well, that's only because they were using isolytic weapons, and as a result, you can tear subspace. So that's basically what he used against them, their own weapons, by channeling stuff through the Bizarre collectors. So, Terrence Childs, do you think that Starfleet would have punished Admiral Marcus for building the Vengeance? Keep in mind they had just lost Vulcan. They blew up a planet, for goodness sake. There's no way Starfleet didn't know about the Vengeance. You can't just say Marcus was like, I want to build a ship. That shipbuilding facility by Jupiter. Yeah, we're going to commandeer that. Nobody will know. We'll get a whole bunch of assets and build this huge ship that Starfleet's not going to know. Starfleet fucking knew about that. Don't tell me they didn't. That was just stupid. In Picard season 3, with the ship being thrown at the USS Titan and being disintegrated, wouldn't there have been an antimatter explosion? Not necessarily. I don't think the warp core was online. I think that was one of the things she was building up to a warp core to actually go to warp in the episode 1, and the ship never got the warp core build up. So I don't know. That's a good question, though. Very good question. General Grievous, personal prediction is that the scene in the trailer of Raffi fighting Worf is her still paranoid coming off the Splinter, and who knows, not knowing who he is. Yeah, I would buy that. Burnsy, the Riker maneuver from Insurrection, sucking in gas from the nebula in the enemy's face. It only works in certain conditions, and that being said, the Shrike does have isolytic weapons. That's one of the ones that was listed of all the weapons it had. So if they use those, perhaps they can do it. Mr. Creenan, an active admiral can commandeer a captain's ship. That makes sense. A retired part is sus, and he's got an active captain, and he is a living legend. I think the math works. What are press kits exactly? Well, it's like when a new show comes out or a new season, they send out like a bag of peanuts and like a glass, like a Prodigy glass, and maybe a Prodigy badge, and shit like that. It's just like 5 or 6 things in a little press kit that are promotional materials for the new show. That's what it is. Arvor said, I would like to see a Next Generation crew with Mariner, Boimler, Picard's son, Geordi's daughter, and Seven as captain. Chuck A says the Star Trek cruise has launched. It looks like a lot of fun. Yeah. Mr. Creenan, the ship throw was visually cool but useless. Shields that can withstand antimatter warheads will have no problem with a ship. In Generations, retired Captain Kirk was given command of the B until he decided to keep the captain on the bridge. Bandit, I wonder if Riker is a secret bad guy. No. Burnsy, Star Trek babies, Jack Picard, Geordi's kids, Worf kids, Riker's kids, etc. Mr. Creenan, the ship that was thrown was powered down, and I don't think it broke apart completely. Antimatter pods are probably still intact. Yep. Dan Ben, I've seen pictures of the press kits on the website, Trekcore. Yes. Trek or not, are you getting the autobiography of Cisco Cap? Of course I am. I love Cisco. Any update on Resurgence release data? Just April is all we know right now. Olam Drab says Shrike has isolytic weapons, not that they need to use them against the Titan. Dan Ben, Star Trek Resurgence prequel comics has issue 4. Okay. Geraldine says I really thought Worf would bring an awkward forced presence, but I was thrilled he was put a good end point to the mess storyline. Felt right. William May, is there any news on Star Trek Strange New Worlds season premiere date? No, I believe it'll be late March or April, but we haven't heard officially. But where's Troy? Who cares? Fucking Troy can die for all I care. Bill Barkley, I hear there's supposed to be some movement with Axanar. I think they're trying to get whatever the next episodes are together or something like that. No idea. Haven't been paying attention. Dan Ben says Anson Mount recently said Strange New World Season 2 will explore the limits of Star Trek's idealism. Ooh. Thomas Riker says in Star Trek Picard Season 3 soundtrack apparently contains some spoilers for the season's plot, according to Terry Metellus. Yes, the names of the tracks are often spoilery with soundtracks. I felt bad for thinking it, but what if Riker has a parasite in him? He doesn't. That's just... Yeah, I don't buy that. Russ Knuckle Iron Gut. I felt like a Vidian from Star Trek Voyager stole Dr. Crusher's face and is up to something when I saw her in episode 2. Oh, wow. Bradley Thomas, are there pockets of Metreon gas in the nebula? We don't know. That's what's important for the explosion, but yeah. Dan Ben, Lower Decks didn't want any of their stuff used in live action yet. Bill Barkley says, are you going to be playing the VR Star Wars game again? The one you couldn't bring up in the live chat on? Yes, I played it last night because I got the issue resolved with the tracking of the headset, and I played it for like half an hour last night, and then I had a little bit of a stomach emergency and had to deke out. Vadic is really Nurse Ogo. Dan Ben, Star Trek Nemesis, parts of a wing hit the Enterprise E. You adjust the shield. Obi-Wan throws in $5. Thank you so much, Obi-Wan. I'm actually watching Picard Season 3, and I really enjoyed Episode 1. Episode 2 is even better, in my opinion. So, the Black Trekker. Why do you think that Starfleet did not incorporate any of the advanced defensive capabilities that Janeway brought back from the Delta Quadrant? That I don't know. I don't know why they didn't use the shielding tech or whatever. I don't know why that wasn't spread out fleet wide, especially after the Dominion War. That's a good question. I don't know. That's one thing that really confuses me, honestly. Could be that it can't be replicated easily, and so they can't actually really deploy it on many ships, if any, at this point. It could just be too advanced technology to actually be, replicatable. So, Burnsy, personally, I feel like Captain Shaw became much more likable in episode 2, so I can believe he'll be a favorite, like Terry said. I think he will be. I mean, I liked him from the beginning. I like that kind of captain, though. I like Lorca. Didn't mind Jellicoe. I really liked Stamets' character from season 1 of Discovery, kind of the asshole character. I kind of like those kind of characters. And Lorca, I think, was a fantastic captain. Shaw comes off very much like a Lorca type character to me. So, yeah, I hope Shaw is going to be a good captain. I'm sure it will be. Why do people talk about the Enterprise G when we have not gotten to the Enterprise F yet, and we will soon? Well, because the Enterprise F is retiring or being decommissioned sometime in this season, so it makes sense that people are talking about the G. Pumpkin Spice, Vatic, a hologram from the Voyager episode where they were hunted by Hirogen? Oh, that's interesting. Dan Ben, well, maybe prequel comic being released means the game is nearer to release. Well, yeah, April. It's only like a month away, so. Mr. Captain 93, the Titan needs to fire the nacelle torpedoes. Clearly, the best torpedoes ever in Disco showed us the nacelle torpedoes, yes. Uh-huh. Burnsy says, I think the credits describe Beverly as a guest. Wonder how many more episodes she's in. Would want to see more of her. Hashtag MILF. She actually looks like shit, in my opinion. She doesn't look good. She's very skinny, very unattractive in this season, but that's just me, I guess. Yeah, well, guest star. So is Jonathan Frakes. But that's just because they're not a series regular. This season they would be, but they're not a series regular. So those guest star appearances in the credits they all have to do with the SAG, like the Screen Actors Guild, and what their managers kind of demand for those roles. So, no, I'm pretty sure she's going to be in every episode this season. So it's 10 episodes, but as a special guest star, I think that's more than adequate. So, yeah. Two timeline breaky to exist. What is? Bill Barkley, did you hear that the final or two final episodes of Picard are supposed to be being broadcast as one full-length episode? I have not heard that, no. Bradley Thomas, $5. Could you imagine a Star Trek VR game set on the bridge? I know, it'd be great. It would be called Bridge Crew. We've already played that multiple times. They need to do a new one for the VR2, though. Trek or not, hey Cap, weird theory, but could this be related to thine own self, where Data lost memory, poisoned the village, the radiation was damaging their faces, and they need lore in place to Data, hence uniform? Could explain the scarred faces for sure. Colin Barrett, temporal prime directive may prevent the use of technology from the future fleet-wide. That could be also the thing, yes. Mr. Crennan, if you start using time travel to advance your tech, it'll be temporal arms race and predestination loops. Okay. Dan Ben, some of these autobiography books have things that didn't happen. Like the autobiography of Picard, there's the Picard. There's Picard Beverly's wedding. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's fine. They're beta canon. It's fine, but it's still cool to have an autobiography or a biography of them. SC Scout Guy, would it break some sort of law for them to use that future tech that Voyager brought back? It could be. It could be that it's breaking the law. Dan Ben, isn't Star Trek Bridge Crew VR, but you can play non-VR? Yes, you can also play it non-VR, but it's not even worth playing non-VR. It's so difficult, and it's not even worth it. Trust me, I tried playing non-VR when I first got it, and I immediately stopped playing it after like trying for half an hour. It was just not enjoyable. In VR, it's much better. Olam Drab, I guess future temporal investigation agents could come back and dissuade them from using future tech. Could be. Here's Hot Topics. I thought the Enterprise F was brand new later this season. Wow, we missed the entire Enterprise. This sucks. I wanted a series on that super cool ship. Daniel, on the Instagram Star Trek logs, there's a log saying that the Enterprise F is being retired after 15 years of service and having multiple captains during those 15 years. But in its latest mission, it had a system-wide, I forget how to explain it. Basically, it had some kind of malfunction, and it was ship-wide. It was a massive systems failure, and as a result, it's being retired early. So it's only had a 15-year run. Enterprise D only had 8 years. It got destroyed after 8 years. So sometimes Enterprises don't always have a great run, but they're still super well remembered. Now, the fact that the Enterprise F you know, 15 years is going to be decommissioned. That's fine. It had massive system. I forget how they fucking worded it. Anyway, but multiple captains over the 15 years is interesting. And I don't know what that means exactly. So, you know, that's why they're talking about the G and stuff. So. Dr. Pulaski and Whoopi Goldberg were guest stars in TNG. Mr. Crennan, using Janeway's future tech fleet-wide would be a time crime, dude. Pumpkin Spice, Mary Wiseman cast as the new Pink Power Ranger in the Power Rangers reboot. I call bullshit on that, but okay. Paula Graham, yeah, Beverly is not aging well. And what's up with her upper lip? Yeah, I don't know. She looks like hammered dog shit, in my opinion. But that's just me. I don't know. I'm just being superficial, I guess. Burnsy, maybe they'll commandeer the Enterprise F as it's being decommissioned, like Kirk did with the Enterprise A. It keeps in line with the older movies comparisons. Well, I have a theory about that, but we're not going to get into it. They'll probably commandeer an Enterprise, but it won't be the F. Dan Ben, apparently the TNG crew won't all appear together until episode 6. That's fine. Pumpkin Spice, Enterprise J is a spatula for the whole pizza. Putin's cat, why does Beverly's kid have such an accent? Who knows and who cares? Why is that such an issue for people? Colin Barrett, it's a pity Will Wheaton is not in this season. Jack telling Wesley to shut up would be priceless. Could Vadic be the teen girl from Thine Own Self? Looks like her a lot. Could be, Trekyard. Could be. That's a good theory. I like that. Wesley is a time-traveling hippie. Sci-fi science interest. Good evening. Good evening, sir. How's it going? The Black Trekker. Question for you, Captain. Picard has had many love interests in his life. Who would you have been with instead of his current girlfriend? Who would you have been with instead of... Huh? I probably would have, if I was Picard, I probably would have gone out with Beverly. They were getting along quite well in TNG. He just didn't want to commit to her for some reason. Probably over guilt of having Jack killed and, you know, swooping in and stealing Jack's wife. I don't know. I don't know. The lady that went on the away mission and almost died, that they played the piano in the Jeffries tube, that lady was nice. I would have, you know, I don't know exactly what you're asking me there, so. Bradley Thomas, we need a Star Trek Janeway. I always thought we needed a few more episodes of Voyager that dealt with the repercussions of the crew's return. Huge missing opportunity. I don't think we're going to get that just for the simple fact that she is on Prodigy. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to get that necessarily. Mary Wiseman cast as Honey Bunny in the Star Trek Pulp Fiction crossover movie. That I believe. New Yorker in Vegas. It would be nice to have a line at some point. With 15 captains? Or many captains over the course of 15 years? Sure, yeah. Daniel's Hot Topics. I love Worf's new theme. It's the Klingon Imperial March theme. It's so cool. So good. Yes. Vad Wanu. Captain, thanks for suggesting Prodigy. I'm enjoying it very much. No problem. Keep it up. Watch the whole thing. It's fantastic. And season 2 is on its way. Putin's cat says, someone grumpy? Nope. Not at all. Matt Boardman. Terry Metalis has already said that we will find out why he has an accent next episode. That's great. That's great. Bill Barkley. Oh, Stuart, I saw something on YouTube about the older release of the Enterprise D model where it was weird worded Enterprise name outside of the shuttle bay. I don't know if you have that model or not. Yeah, I just saw a post on that myself. So I don't have that one, I don't think. I haven't looked at them in a while. Speaking of movie comparisons, I suspect next week we will be treated to the Wrath of Khan type nebula chase. Yeah, at least for 15 minutes of the episode. I don't think it's going to be the whole episode. I think they're going to get out of the episode, or out of the nebula pretty quickly before the halfway mark. It's my hope. I don't want them to drag a whole episode out, unless it's really good. Unless they can do it well. and this last episode was really good. So, hi, Captain. I feel the Ferengi's performance in the last episode of Picard was a bit underrated. I think he did a fantastic job. Underrated, maybe it is. I don't know. But I think he did a great job. So, Sci-Fi Interest says not bad, Captain. Just starting a Star Trek graphic novel of an ancestor, or Will Riker being a captain of the Captain Pike Kirk era. Cool. That junk man is here. What kind of shirt is that? What the heck is a Trekyards? Man, you got one of these shirts, which you never wear anymore, by the way. Bastard. Good to see you, man. Mine's actually falling apart. This was a bad print. It's kind of just... Anyway. Did Mary Wiseman leave the Discovery series? Nope, she'll be in the season 5, so... Arvor, the Titan reaching the edge of Federation space is such a short time is kind of Star Wars-ish. Yes, it is. Thomas Riker, I'm hoping that we get to see DS9 or even O'Brien. O'Brien would be fantastic. DS9 would also be great, so yes. Mr. Crennan, yeah, that lady piano player reminds me of Picard's new Romulan girlfriend. But yeah, after they had a kid, I think Picard is going to be back with Bev. Colin Barrett says, I wonder how Ensign Kim feels about Commander 7. Trek or not, Trekyards makes us go. Give us Trekyards. We need it, or we are broken. Burnsy, did Beverly name Jack in some kind of reverse Oedipus complex? Kind of weird. No, it's honoring a dead husband. I mean, that happens a lot with kids. If the father dies before the kid's born, a lot of times the mother will name the kid after the father. Or, like, Jack the Second or Jack the Third or whatever. So I have no issue with that. I don't think it's weird at all. So Samuel thinks it's weird. I don't. Not available regarding Gates McFadden's appearance. Really wrong to criticize someone's physical appearance. Someone seems in a very high-strung, grumpy mood today. Anyway, I might be a little grumpy, sure. I just don't find her attractive. I'm sorry. She just doesn't look good. It's just my opinion. Dan Ben, I think the next episode might be called The Nebula. Burnsy thinks she looks hot, to be honest, so there you go. Olam Drab, if after months of hiding in Nebula, being shot in firefight, failing stasis and surgery, look as good, you will not. That's true. Mr. Crennan, how the F are we going to get Cisco in this? I was promised Cisco cameo. Was I misinformed? Yeah, I think you were misinformed. Eric Upperlane, looking up Amanda Plummer and found her in Pulp Fiction saying, I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you. Yes. Rust Knuckle Iron Gut. One of chat posts reminded me of some of the saddest things in Trek, and a missed opportunity of a Worf show after DS9 and a post-Voyager Janeway show of some kind. I hope Jake Sisko was in that building and got wrecked. Wow. That junk man, have you ever seen the old Star Trek that was on TV from the 60s? It's cool. I like Dr. Spock with his volcano logic and the Star Trek Enterprise show. Wow, man. Wow. Holy shit, we got a troll in the house, man. I'm gonna hide him so he can't comment. Foley, your shirt is now vintage. Yeah, it seems that way. Oh, Stuart, have you watched the 2 new episodes of Magnum yet? No, I have not. Steve Russell, am I the only one that would be up for a series with Riker as captain of a ship? I mean, a lot of people would be up for it. He's kind of old, though, but... Daniel's Hot Topics. You know there was a flaw in the theory that Discovery is in a parallel universe to Picard. Remember in Season 1, we see a Discovery shuttle in the background? Also, we see a Strange New World Enterprise hologram. Yeah, we do, which is fucking stupid. So we're just going to ignore that. Daniel Vance, lasagna's ready. All are welcome to Slice. I love lasagna. I'll be right there. Trek or not, he could call himself Jack out of spite of Picard. That junk man says, I can't wait for Wesley to find out he has a brother. I bet he gives a heartwarming smile when he finds out. Bradley Thomas, the Mutara Nebula no longer exists. It coalesced to form the Genesis planet. It's true. Trek or not, or he's made from splicing Jack in Picard's DNA. Ooh. Dan Ben, Enterprise D used to go to near Romulan space to receive a message from Starfleet that they were quite far away from other ships to help. Yeah, but this show episode, the season episode 1 has a real flaw of them getting there like in less than a day to the edge of Federation space to this nebula, which is a bit of a problem. It's the same problem we see in the JJ movies. Like to get from Earth to Kronos takes a few hours. No, it should take like 2 weeks. So there's a real issue with time and distance in these newer shows. It's just not thought out, and it's fine. It's a storytelling trope. Unfortunately, we do call it out, but it's just kind of silly. So the theory is correct that Jack Crusher's a clone of Beverly's dead husband. The question is, what is she really doing with him? You don't think she would sleep with... Oh my god, no. Interest where his Liam Shaw character goes after his short-lived Captain Lorca in Discovery that could be rectified to change the world. Okay. Vatic is not so tough. She only threw one ship at Picard. I have a huge Eagle Moss collection. I can throw ships at people all day. What about a Bridge Commander remaster in VR? That'd be great. They won't do it. Do you mean Bridge Commander or do you mean Bridge Crew? I don't like him, and someone had to be in there. Bill Barkley, Robert Mayer Burnett. Ooh, this must be interesting. Let's see. Said earlier in a stream that there's a talk with someone in episode 5, and Rob was surprised. It might be Tasha Yar because we know Denise is to appear somewhere. Well, there you go. Let's ruin it for everybody, Rob Burnett. Good job. Could be called Jacques Picard, maybe adding Picard's French heritage. Well, he did say Mon Ami to the Apprentice Ranger, so I have no problem with Jake Sisko, and Sirach is a great guy in real life. Yes. Maybe the Titan has a spore drive. No. Lasagna, yes please. Yes. Bruh, I said I didn't like Jake, not the actor. Let's drop it with the fucking character or the actor. I don't give a shit. Let's just drop it. Let's not keep the conversation going. So Woolsey knows the time hippie didn't show for his mom when they were going to kill her. He knows how this goes. Wes has already seen this season and decided it's okay without him. Yeah. Trek or not, Jake was good in Nor the Battle. So the strong, a bit controversial, I know. Nor the Battle to the strong. I don't know what you're talking about, Trek or not, but I think you're on something that you shouldn't be on. Just put it down. Bradley Thomas, could quantum tunneling be faster than a warp prototype? Absolutely, it could be, yes. Pumpkin Spice, Star Trek TOS and Voyager 2. Talos 4 was on the opposite side of the galaxy, and they went to the center of the galaxy in a few hours. Yes, there's a lot of problems with that in all three Trek. So, I mean, Bridge Commander, the classic game, one for the first Star Trek games I ever played. Yes, I actually have it on my computer right now. You can get it from Good Old Gaming. You can still play it on modern machines. And there's a YouTube channel called Retro Badger who shows you how to install different patch files for it, different versions of it. There's a Kobayashi Maru variant. There's a whole bunch of different ones that add different ships, and he pits the ships against each other. So Retro Badger on YouTube, go check him out if you're interested in Bridge Crew, or Bridge Commander, sorry. I double checked on the website. Trek Central has some episode titles. For episode 3 is 16 seconds. Episode 4 is No Win Scenario. Oh, nice. Carlos A. Smith, what edge of Federation space sector are they near? The closest is like north of the Earth on the sector map, and even that is an hour. It's hours or a few days at high warp. I don't know where they are. The Black Trekker, what is the best planet in Federation space to live aside from Earth in terms of comfort and longevity? That I don't know. Maybe Risa. Risa would be great to live there, but more of a vacation planet. I don't know. Trek or not, blame the Twitter. Okay. Bernsey says, will we see people from other shows, Voyager DS9? They say so, so I hope so. I'm going to make a prediction. I think Shaw will die in the following episodes in the battle with Vadic. That is how Seven will take over as captain of the Titan. If it happens, you head in there first. There you go. I don't want Shaw to die, but that would make sense. Brad says, I've heard that we'll see the Enterprise in the final season of Picard. Who do you think is her captain? Who will be her captain? I don't know. We see the Enterprise F because it gets decommissioned. I know we see another Enterprise, which I'm not going to say because I do know what it is. But I don't know who the captain's going to be. But it would be great to be Captain Harry Kim. I think that'd be fantastic. Captain of the Enterprise F. So DS9 should have brought Ensign Rowe back during the Dominion War or the 90s Trek films. Please no. I hate Ensign Rowe. But that's just me. Again, you can't judge it. You can't not like her because she was awesome. Well, I just don't like her character, so that's what I'm saying. The Picard and Beverly storyline seems to be mirroring Kirk and Colonel Marcus. Yeah. Sorry, Captain Foley. I missed the log that says the Enterprise F is being retired. Could you tell me where you saw this? Star Trek logs on Instagram. Go check it out. There's some really great ones. It also explains the history of the Titan a little bit. ASB, I was very active in Bridge Commander modding community back in the old Filefront site. When I discovered the game can be played through voice control, I spent the entire weekend replaying it. Baku is a planet where people live a long time. Yeah, but it's a primitive. I wouldn't want to live there. Crazy idea. Vadic is Laura's child. Perhaps. That is crazy. Oh, I heard this silly theory that Shaw may be Section 3. Oh, my God. Some of the show innuendo about Ryza made it seem like a cross between Hawaii and a brothel. That's exactly what it was. Well, the D was destroyed. Yeah, except for the saucer section. Bill Barkley, by the way, in a season 3 launch event, Patrick Stewart kind of sort of alluded to that he'd like to do a movie. I hope it happens, but who knows? Yes. That was at New York Comic Con that was said. Ryza is the Tijuana of the Federation. Wow. I just rewatched the conspiracy episode. The good news is that the terrible scenes still look the same. There you go. You don't think Ensign Rowe is hot, Captain Foley? Fuck no. Absolutely not. She is not attractive to me in the least. Matter of fact, her attitude and the bitchiness just makes her look even worse to me. So, no, she's 100% not attractive to me at all. Sci-fi science interest. I wouldn't want Shaw to die, rather see Riker take the captain's chair if Shaw gets killed or injured in a similar way that Matt Decker took command of the Enterprise in the episode Doomsday Machine. Dan Ben, yeah, do you see 3 Titan ships in goal on the Titan A? Yes, there are 3. There's Savik's original NCC 1777 is there. That's the original Shangri-La class. That is the one that the new one is modeled after. Then you get the Riker's Titan, and then you get the new Titan A. Did anyone notice that the 1701A registry was blurred from the Fleet Museum list in the second episode and credits? It was clear in the first episode. Strange. I didn't notice that, actually, that they did that for the second one. Colin Barrett, I'm so down for stealing the NCC 1701A from the museum. I didn't say that was going to be the one, now did I? How different were the end credits? I don't know. They seem pretty much the same to me, but... Bernsey says, I guess if they recovered, they could marry the D-Saucer to the Galaxy class hull. They could absolutely do that, yes. Australia is not real, just ask a flat earther. Throws in $5 Australians. Thank you so much. Have nothing to say, just didn't want to pay for a stupid sticker. It is cold today. There you go. Thank you so much. Bill Barkley, is Precious there asleep with you? Yes, Precious and daughter are asleep over there, and Lola is asleep here on the floor. Well, on her bed, but hanging off onto the floor. She's just in a weird position. I do think sometimes when Trek wants someone to be kind of abrasive or hard to get along with initially, they tend to overdo it. Maybe carry it too long. They did it with Jellicoe and Ro and Shaw. They definitely did it too long with Ro, 100%. Jellicoe was only on like 42 episodes, so I think it's fine. And Shaw, they really haven't dragged it on long at all because they're only in episode 2. And he's by the end of episode 2, you're like, I love this guy. He's fucking great. So ASB, I am still wondering if the bottom piece of the Shrike is intentionally similar to Galaxy class family, taking scale into account, possibly in New Orleans. No, it just looks like that for some reason. There's no deliberate reason behind it. By the way, I see the Elcar's end credits are all supposed to be the same, so no new Easter eggs, unfortunately. Arvor says another question would be whether Beverly is still fertile 20 years or whatever ago, if she's in her 70s. It's the future, dude. People live to be 150. So, yes, with medical technology, yes, she could still be fertile. Did you notice the lower hull of it? Yes, I did notice that, and it has nothing to do with anything. What did the Titan and Riker do to earn the Titan A? The Packlet battle in lower decks. Well, they did a lot of things. It wasn't just that. Anyway, Dan Ben, do you think that we'll get an STO ship from the credits in the show? Get to see the TOS. Oh, the Pioneer class. I hope so. I don't know 100% for sure if we will, but I hope so. Shaw was in Sia mode. Third of the episode too long, I thought. Yeah. Trek or not, theory, parasites were season 1. Beverly went out season 2. Could Jack be a parasite-resistant human? That's interesting. That's a very good theory. It'd make for a good book. I don't think that's part of the season, though. No, it's a very distinct shape. It doesn't match the rest of the ship. Okay, then. Captain Foley, your lack of appreciation for Ro is the minority view, I'm sure. They saw Femke Jensen and Picard and says, we got it again. Let me correct it. The sex tension. Not Dottie Picard. Kira is basically Ro. Yeah, I don't give a shit if I'm the minority on that. I just hate Ro. I think she's an awful character, and I don't have any interest in ever seeing her return again. She was in it way too much, in my opinion. I'm in the minority. I don't care. Just my thought. You want to play Elite Force again? Hell yeah. Elite Force is awesome. When everyone says about Shaw being striked, they need to look at Picard in the first season. He's in court and turbulence with kids and relied on them to survive. By the way, is that the first time we've seen a tractor beam used in track to throw ships? No, we saw it in lower decks. Anyway, I feel that way about Wesley. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Wesley. I don't mind Wesley. I don't like Wesley overall, but yeah, I don't mind him. We all just want to see Keiko O'Brien again. I'd rather see Ro Laren back than Keiko O'Brien. Let's put it that way. And on that note, I think I will call it a wrap. Yeah, kind of got a little bit of tension in my back. I am in a little bit of a bad mood, and I apologize. I shouldn't have been for this live, but just the way it is. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already. By all means, if you're watching this after the fact, send a super thanks. If you want to send a super chat right now to close out with the super chats, that would be great. So yeah. Others has a good one. I think Samuel might be doing a live tomorrow. He said he might want to do a live on his own. So tune in for that if you guys are able to. But definitely hit that like button. Check out the options down below for joining the channel and helping us, supporting us in whatever way you can. Even clicking the links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. Much appreciated. So if you can support us by joining the channel or heading into Patreon/Trekyards as well, we appreciate that. You get your name on one of the plaques. You become part of the fleet. You get a ship assigned, or you get yourself assigned to a ship. And you get to hang out with us in the Discord server, and as well as all the other crewmates that you have on your ship, as well as everybody in the chat here. All the Trekyardians are over on the Discord channel, so go check it out. It's called the official Trekyards Fleet Discord channel. The link is in the description, well, The link is down below. If you hit the join button, you automatically get into the Discord server. So lots of cool stuff over there, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the future. So by all means, have yourselves a great weekend. I will probably be doing some VR live streaming later this evening. More of the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I think. We'll see. I've got a few VR things I could look at. But anyway, so if you can join me for those, please do. If you can't, that's also cool. But by all means, know that that is an option, that I will be doing other stuff this weekend. So until the next time, I'm Captain Foley, signing off. Bye, everybody.